Hey sis.
Hey sis.
Hey sis.
Hey sis.
Hey sis.
Hey sis.
Hey sis. Welcome to Womb. Hey sis. Good evening. Welcome to where crowns connect. That's the name of that's the new name. I just grabbed that. I hope you are having a great Thursday evening. Today is what, April 14th. My goodness. April 14th. I'll be about to hit Easter. Good Friday, Easter. Hope you're going, you're planning a great holiday weekend. Whether you celebrate or not, whatever whatever you celebrate. This is a great holiday weekend to get together with family and things like that. So I am very excited about being able to see all the little Easter dresses and all that stuff on Sunday. That's when I love that. Anyway, so I hope you're having a great Thursday. This is Mylan, founder of Womb, Women-Owned Minority Businesses, your favorite startup coach and strategic planning coach. So I'm coming off of this amazing weekend. I think I talked about this a little bit earlier this week. I had an opportunity to be one of the speakers at the Get Ish Done conference, hosted by Miss Dekeisha Williams, the webinar queen herself. And when I tell you that it was just phenomenal weekend, phenomenal speakers. Taria Vaughn, of course, she's the book queen. Ryan Green got us straight on, creating online courses from your books. Judy freaking Fox, man, she just got us all straight on LinkedIn. Like, she told us stuff about LinkedIn that I had zero idea. So it was a really great weekend. And this week, for the conference, I actually had an opportunity to talk about networking and how to monetize your collaborations, how to monetize your connections, how to leverage your network to grow your business. And so one thing I think people didn't know about me is that I am a bit of an introvert. Like, I'm good being in my little space. Y'all see my little space here? I am good in this little space. Okay. I got my dreams come true. A wall divider, the room divider. I got Prince, I got Michael, I got my book, I got my dolls, my beautiful dolls from I think they're from Kenya. Maya Angelou. Look, I got everything I need in this little space. I'm fine. If you're an introvert, you get it too. Like, I'm fine in my space, but I recognize as an entrepreneur, it's really important to talk to people. If you want to actually be able to sell something, y'all, you need to be able to talk to people. And so, I recognize how important it was for me to be able to get out there and really start networking, especially towards the beginning of my time as an entrepreneur. And I have to tell you, I hate networking. Like, I hate the schmoozing feel of networking especially when I first got started. It just wasn't a comfortable experience. And it was funny because Dekeisha, who for me is just an extrovert, come to find out she's just like me, an introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert, whatever you call it. But she's not a fan of networking either. But as an entrepreneur, you have to connect with other people. I mean, that's just common sense, right? So I gave a couple of tips, and I figured, what, I shared it at the conference. I'm going to share a couple of tips here as well. For those of you who don't like to network, you hate going to networking events, you hate going to virtual events, live events, it doesn't matter, you hate to network. As an entrepreneur, I just got to tell you, you got to do it. I mean, it's just something you need to do, right? So there are ways to get past that, ways to get over it. One, you have to recognize why you hate networking so much. Like, what is it about that experience that you don't like? Maybe you just, don't like having to be in a room filled with people that you don't know. Maybe you're uncomfortable starting conversations. And maybe you're not, quite sure what to talk about. You're okay with talking to people. It's like, my goodness, what do I say? And maybe you're feeling a little insecure about your business. Maybe you're like, oh, do they really want to hear what they have to say? Do they really want to, know what my business is? And so there's a confidence thing that always comes into play too. So a couple things I want you to keep in mind. Number one, you gotta have a plan of action, because you don't have to talk to everybody in a room. Like, I mean, my God, that just, as an introvert, and I walk into a room of 20 adults, I'm like, now I was a high school English teacher. Y'all know that, right? I was a high school English teacher, so I can walk in a room of 20 high school students and be perfectly fine. I can walk into a room of 1,000 high school students and be perfectly fine. But walk into a room of 20 adults, I'm like, ugh, right? So you have to have a plan of action. Really understand what it is that makes you so nervous or so hesitant to go out and network, and make sure that you're creating an environment for yourself while you're there, so you can deal with whatever that anxiety is. So I would use the example of just being nervous about walking into a room with 20 people. So the first thing you have to recognize is that you don't have to talk to everybody. One thing that's really good to do is to try to see who's going to be in the room. Lots of times for networking events, you'll see the guest list, right? Especially like Facebook events and things like that, or if there's an Evite or something, you might be able to see the guest list ahead of time. Or you can even ask the organizer, hey, I want to be a little more purposeful with my networking. Is it possible to get the guest list? Some will say yes, some will say no, right? But one thing that you can do is to look at the guest list. If you have access to it, look at the guest list and figure out who you want to talk to. So if there's 20 people in the room and there's 5 people that will help you with your goals for this quarter, then focus on those 5 people. You don't have to meet everybody in the room, okay? So with that being said, you got to know what your goals are for the quarter. Not necessarily goals for the whole year, because that can be daunting to think about for one particular event. But think about what you want to accomplish in the next quarter, right? So, for example, I told this to the conference attendees. I said one of my goals is to have 12 speaking engagements during quarter 2, right? Quarter 2 and quarter 3. I want to have it during both. And part of that will, I have to meet people that have platforms that will allow me to speak, right? So if I'm going to a networking event, I want to meet podcasters. I want to meet folks who have their own, radio show, or their own TV or, YouTube show or something like that, Instagram, Clubhouse. I want to meet people who are doing conferences. So that particular goal will help me narrow down the people that I want to speak to. All right. So think about what you want to accomplish for your networking, for your goals, and then use that networking opportunity to focus on those people. All right. So what I'm going to do, this is what we're going to do, guys, because I like talking for about 10 minutes. Again, it's part of me being an introvert. I like talking for about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks is just to give you some hints and tips at 7:00 on Thursday about how to really maximize your time at networking events. So the first thing I want you to focus on is to make sure you have a goal, and with that goal in mind, who do you need to talk to while you are there, right? Who can help you accomplish that goal based on the guest list. If you don't have the guest list readily available, you might even reach out to the organizer and say, hey, I'm coming to your event. I'm really excited to, connect with some people. I'm specifically looking for folks who can help me A, B, and C, right? And even if they don't release the full guest list to you, they might be able to give you some folks. Okay, hey, you know what? You need to talk to these 4 people. All right. Don't forget, don't be afraid to ask for help with this, right? The organizer wants you to come. They want you to be comfortable. They want you to network. And so I know when I'm doing events, I usually have the guest list available. But if someone wants to know, hey, Maya, who can I connect with for A, B, or C? I'm definitely willing to help them out, because I want them to have a successful networking experience. All right. So keep that in mind for your next event. Have your goal ready and find out who's going to be in the room that can help you accomplish that goal. I will see you guys next Thursday at 7 o'clock. We'll talk a little bit more about networking events and how to really maximize your time so that it'll help you build your business. In the meantime, you always know there's nothing more powerful than the council of women. So go grab your biz bestie, go look at some network events coming up and get ready, get scheduled, get out there and meet new people. All right, guys. So have a great night. I'll see you next week. Bye.